You've probably heard a lot of business coaches, consultants, you might have seen a webinar or two of why having a niche is so important. Today, I'm going to break down the real and most secret ways of why having a niche is going to transform your business. I'm Ari, biz coach for holistic entrepreneurs, marketing strategist, and yogi. Why is a niche so important? And let's not even talk about niche. Let's talk about hyper niche. Why does this matter? And you're like, but Ari, I love to do so many things and I have so many certifications. I do Reiki, Pilates, yoga. Well, I'm here to tell you that the main secret of how you can succeed with finding a niche is pretty simple. First of all, as you see here, we have the pies. You work in the wellness world, and this is a huge industry. It's over a $3.54 trillion a year industry. And being able to solve all the problems and being able to help all the people is going to make you be like a little dot floating around this huge circle. And the last thing you want to do if you're starting your business is float around. You want direction, you want guidance, and the best way to do that is finding a specific way that you can support your community, your potential clients, your existing clients in a way that also feeds you. For example, I have a client who, when we started working together, she had two different offerings or services, we might say, that were pretty awesome. She had a membership at $19.99 a month, and then she had private clients. So when we started working together, the first thing she asked me was like, hey, is my social media content clear as to who I'm helping and what I do? Ding, ding, ding. The answer was no. And I said, look, it's crazy. I've been a yoga teacher for almost 20 years and I understand your content. But who are you talking to? Are they newbies? Are they trying to heal themselves? Are they in a part of life where they want to advance their practice? So we addressed that first. And then she's like, well, I also love to teach meditation and I also love to teach how to use props and I really want to teach therapeutics. So this is in the yoga. So now we have a niche within wellness that's yoga. And within yoga, we're having specialties. Now add on the fact that she also did energy work and transformational coaching. So what we did is created a signature system. Yes, you heard this right. It is her specific way of doing what she does and feeling really joyful about it because now she doesn't have to segment herself. This is what happened to me when I started my business consulting. I was a yoga teacher on one hand, and I was a marketing, graphic designer, and photography world expert. And I had these two scales of what do I put my attention to? So creating this business was the perfect answer. Now, it doesn't mean that you, with all your specialties, your certifications, have these very different worlds. Again, go back to Jennifer, how she was able to create a very specific way of how she did what she did. Also, we have Bianca, who is a health coach. Hello, health coach. I can help people get healthy, right? I can help anyone get healthy. But I said, well, how are we going to maximize the way that you do what you do? So what did we do? We focused on what she loves. That was our primary. That was the forefront. So she loves helping people detox, to do fasts, and to do alternative medicine, plant medicine. So that was her forward part. That was what we positioned as her brand and why she started being able to help people in a much more succinct way. Her niche dictated her operating procedures, her sales strategies, and her marketing. Because look, if you're really good at a lot of stuff, that means that you have to do a lot of different kinds of content. And as of now, at least for me, no one's paying me to do my content. And I'm guessing that might be the same for you. When you specialize, you start showing up as an expert, as a credible source. And if you think of public relations, you can start being featured as the expert on fasting, the expert meditation teacher, the expert therapeutics. Now, When you think of collaborations, what a great way to show up and say, hey, this is how I work. This is my specialty. This is how I do what I do. I always love to go back to the video of Understanding Your Why by Simon Sinek. And he really breaks it down in a way that's so easy to understand. I always feel inspired because he helps create a culture for your company based on a niche, based on your way of doing what you do, so that your brand has a message that comes from your core values. Now, I know you might have a hard time figuring out your niche, so I'm going to give you 3 easy steps. 1, I just said it. What brings you the most joy? Start with that. I call it doing the Marie Kondo of all your skill sets. What brings you the most joy? 2, what's closest to the cash? What's the lowest hanging fruit? When you think about, okay, I need to get some clients, or I want to get some clients, speaking of power, I want to get some clients right now. Who can I collaborate with? Who might have an audience of people that would benefit from what I do? And how can we work together? Who can I collaborate with that maybe I can do an Instagram live with? I always start thinking of who are my connectors out there, because I can't just rely on my organic social and I can't just rely on paid advertising. I have to use all my tools. So 1, what brings me the most joy? 2, what's closest to the cash? 3, how do we show up authentic and what do we feel really comfortable with? So those 3 things right then and there can dictate one part of finding a niche. Now, the second part is your who. Who are you working with? Are you wanting to work with a lot of athletes? Are you wanting to work with high-powered CEOs, successful women, high achievers, entrepreneurs? And look, I know that as conscious, holistic entrepreneurs, we want to serve the world, but it's in your best interest to find a niche, specialize in a way that feels like you're really shining and feeling really good about it, so you have the confident piece, and it's helping others transform quicker. Because when you're really good at something and when you can like put things together to create your signature system, right? Like, so for example, when I coach, I have very specific ways of doing what I do. I don't just focus on business. I bring in yoga, mindset, meditation, essential oils, because that's my brand. And that's what might make me different and unique from the business coach who doesn't relate to yoga, doesn't relate to meditation and mindfulness, doesn't use essential oils. And this might attract somebody to hire me versus somebody else. So when you have your specific way of doing things and when you show up as an expert for a specific type of population, and here's a hint, when you're like, I can't identify my ideal client, use a worldview. So pick 2 people and see what their commonalities are. That might make it easier for you. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself right away and be stressed about that, because I get it. Now, being hyper niched, what does it also do? It gives you opportunities to charge your worth. Yes, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Think about, I don't know, when I had my baby, I had a C-section, kind of nasty, left a lot of scar tissue. And truth be told, my pelvic floor kind of went out of whack. So I started doing some research and I wanted to work with a specialist who focused on holistic treatments, who was a ninja with scar tissue and also had some of my aligned values and who's worked with women and had good results. So now me as a user, when I'm searching on Google, because Google is where you search, right? It's called inbound marketing. When I'm searching on Google, things start coming up, maybe blogs, also had to be somebody local. So blogs, SEO, all these different things that made me pick that person. Also referrals. So when you are really good at something, when you specialize and have a niche within the wellness world, when you have an ideal audience, you can be referred easier. I talk about this in The Abundant Yogi, how one of my teachers and friends, every time I had a client that needed more knowledge about therapeutics, about injuries, I would send them to her. It was usually older populations with some sort of physical impairment, maybe hip replacement, maybe knee problems. I knew that I was good at what I did, but I knew that Rosa would be much better at helping them. So I referred them. Having a stream of clients based on referrals because you're a specialist and have a niche is going to bring you clients. People refer me yoga teachers, acupuncturists, health coach, life coaches, because that's where I shine versus maybe a lawyer, even though I've worked with lawyers. But you see what I mean? Having your niche, having your specialty, creating your specific way of doing what you do will help create the way you market yourself, the way your brand is positioned, and the way you show up as the expert you are so that you can charge your worth, bring more clients, and do it with ease versus feeling scattered and potentially overwhelmed. So I want you to take an action. I want you to draw this big circle of the wellness world. And I want you to draw smaller circles, smaller circles, smaller circles until your circle is small enough that you fit in a niche. For example, power yoga, Ashtanga yoga, arm balance expert. Fitness for women over 40. Fitness for moms over 40. How to repair your abdominals after birth. There is a world of people wanting to find you, wanting to hire you. And nowadays, people's searches are hyper focused. When I go search stuff about my baby, I don't just search baby toys. What do I search? Montessori style toys for 18-month-olds. And then I get the content that I need for that specific problem. And what comes up? YouTube videos, Instagram accounts, and blogs. So allow yourself to have your big vision picture, to have your niche within that. We can always shift and move, but start somewhere with focus and attention because this is where your money lies. They don't say the riches is in the niches for nothing. So allow yourself to have this moment of clarity. And if you haven't checked, I have some resources in the description. Go ahead, check them out, subscribe, share, like, comment, and we can continue to grow our holistic business because the world needs you right now more than ever. I'll see you soon.